about to run through our notes here today, guys, and have you underline or highlight, if you get a highlighter, our important information. So these vocabulary words are familiar to us, and then when we go about solving problems with these terms, we are able to know what they're talking about and what we need to do to get the answer. So our first one, perpendicular bisector, we should be a little bit familiar with. We've been focusing on about last week, I think. And perpendicular bisector, one, it is a line or segment that is perpendicular to a side of a triangle at its midpoint. So that segment here, AC, you can see point D there. That's that midpoint. And then you can tell that's a perpendicular bisector by that little right angle there as well. It's a giveaway. And they also tell us that line ED is perpendicular of AC. And again, that's a giveaway with that right angle. And we want to also pick up that with our perpendicular bisector, this creates a circumcenter. The circumcenter is the point of intersection of all three perpendicular bisectors. This point lies inside the triangle. If it's acute, this is going to be important. You have a question on your test that's like this. So inside if it's acute, outside if it's obtuse, and you can kind of see that O and that O there. Outside is obtuse, or the right angle is going to be on the hypotenuse if you get a right angle here. So here we can see that this triangle given to us here is an acute triangle, as the circumcenter is located inside the triangle. So this must be an acute triangle. And the concurrency just means the perpendicular lines that bisect at the same point. That's called a concurrency. So, which here, all three of them, we call it a circumcenter. And the circumcenter is equidistant, and we kind of see our dotted line here, equidistant from the vertices. And we see our vertices are our angles here. So just kind of note here that when we do those perpendicular bisectors, they actually make a point that's equal distance from each vertice in that triangle. Awesome. Let's move into angle bisectors. Yeah. All right, so our angle bisectors here. Our angle bisector is a ray or segment that divides an angle into two congruent adjacent. Adjacent means just right next to each other, as we can see. Those guys are right next to each other, angles. It does not necessarily bisect at the midpoint of the opposite side where it did so up here. So just because it goes through the middle of that angle, we can kind of see too that this part of the line segment AC is a little bit smaller than AD there, or DC is smaller than AD. All right, but we do know, boom, it chops it right into two equal angles. All right, and then we have another vocabulary word here. So this is similar to the circumcenter, but it has to deal with our angle bisectors. When we have all of our angle bisectors intersect at that